On the day Shen Yue returned to the Shen residence, snow was falling heavily. The cold wind brushed against her thin clothes as she stood before the grand gates of the estate, her fingers trembling slightly from the freezing air. This place was supposed to be her home. After being separated from her family for more than 10 years, she had dreamed of this reunion countless times. She had imagined a warm embrace from her mother. She had imagined tears of joy from her father. She had imagined finally returning to the place where she belonged. But reality shattered every fantasy she had built. No one welcomed her with warmth. No one rushed forward to hug her. The servants looked at her with curiosity as if examining an outsider. Her mother, Lady Shen, only glanced at her briefly before her gaze turned cold. There was no joy in her eyes. Only disappointment. Lord Shen stood beside his wife, his posture straight and stern. His eyes carefully scanned Shen Yue from head to toe, as if evaluating whether she was worthy of carrying the Shen family name. Her elder brother Shen Jun did not even bother hiding his displeasure. His expression clearly said that her arrival was unwelcome. Then Shen Yue saw the person standing between them. A young woman in elegant pink robes. Her features were delicate. Her smile looked gentle and harmless. Yet the moment Shen Yue saw how close that girl stood to her family, an uncomfortable feeling rose in her chest. That girl was Su Yuru, the adopted daughter of the Shen family. During the years Shen Yue had been missing, Su Yuru had filled her place. She had become the daughter they loved, the sister they cherished, the pride of the family. Lady Shen slowly stepped toward Shen Yue. For one brief moment, Shen Yue thought her mother would finally embrace her. Instead, Lady Shen simply adjusted Shen Yue's worn collar and frowned. She stated that Shen Yue's posture was poor and that her appearance lacked refinement. Her words were calm, but every syllable felt colder than the snow. The first thing her mother did after finding her was not to comfort her. It was to criticize her. Shen Yue felt her heart sink. Still, she forced herself to smile. She told herself that everything would improve. Perhaps they simply needed time. Perhaps after living together, they would learn to love her. Su Yuru then stepped forward with graceful movements. She welcomed Shen Yue and expressed happiness over her return, presenting herself as a caring sister. To everyone else she looked kind and sincere. Shen Yue also believed it. At least in the beginning. As the servants carried Shen Yue's belongings inside, she noticed something painful. No room had been specially prepared for her. Everything inside the residence already revolved around Su Yuru. Even the maids naturally stood behind Su Yuru as if awaiting her instructions. Without realizing it, Su Yuru had already become the true young miss of the Shen family. That night, the family gathered for dinner. The long table was filled with expensive dishes. But Shen Yue quickly realized she did not belong there. Every topic centered around Su Yuru. Her embroidery, her poetry, her kindness, her talents. Lady Shen praised Su Yuru for her grace. Lord Shen praised her intelligence. Shen Jun praised her for being considerate. No one asked Shen Yue about her life. No one asked whether she had suffered. No one cared how she survived all those years. It was as though her pain did not matter. Suddenly, Lord Shen turned toward her. For a moment, hope returned to Shen Yue's eyes, but that hope vanished instantly. Lord Shen merely stated that since she had returned to the Shen family, she needed to learn proper etiquette quickly so she would not embarrass them. His tone carried authority, not affection. Shen Yue lowered her eyes. The warmth inside her chest dimmed little by little. She had waited years for this reunion. Yet after only one day, she already understood a cruel truth. This house was not waiting for her. This family had already chosen someone else. And that someone was Su Yuru. Su Yuru lowered her gaze and hid the faint smile at the corner of her lips. No one noticed it. No one except Shen Yue. At that moment, Shen Yue did not understand what that smile meant. She only felt a strange chill run down her spine. That night, alone in her cold room, Shen Yue sat by the window and looked at the falling snow. She kept telling herself to endure. She kept convincing herself that if she worked hard enough, her family would eventually accept her. She believed that blood ties could not be replaced. She believed that one day, they would choose her. How naive she had been. In her previous life, that belief would become the very weapon used to destroy her. The days inside the Shen residence passed slowly for Shen Yue. Every morning began with etiquette lessons. Every afternoon was filled with embroidery, calligraphy, and endless lectures about how a noble daughter should behave. She worked harder than anyone. She memorized every rule. She corrected every movement. She endured every criticism in silence. She believed that if she became perfect, her family would finally acknowledge her, but no matter how hard she tried, their attitude never changed. Lady Shen remained cold. Lord Shen remained strict. Shen Jun remained distant. And Su Yuru remained the beloved daughter of the family. At first, Shen Yue tried to get closer to Su Yuru. She thought that if they became true sisters, everything might improve. Su Yuru always smiled gently in front of her. She spoke softly. She acted considerate. She even offered to help Shen Yue adapt to the household. Because of that, Shen Yue lowered her guard. She did not realize that kindness could be the most dangerous mask. One afternoon, the Shen residence fell into chaos. A valuable jade hairpin belonging to Lady Shen had disappeared. The entire household was alarmed. That hairpin was not an ordinary accessory. It was a treasured family heirloom passed down through generations. Lady Shen immediately ordered every servant to search the estate. No corner was left unchecked. Tension filled the residence. Soon, a maid rushed into the hall with a pale face. She reported that the missing hairpin had been found. But it had not been found in a servant's room, nor in the garden. It was found inside Shen Yu's room. Silence filled the hall. Shen Yue froze. Her mind went blank. She stared at the hairpin in disbelief. She had never touched it. She quickly explained that she had no idea how it got there. Her voice carried panic and confusion. But before anyone could respond, soft sobbing was heard. Su Yuru lowered her head. Her eyes quickly turned red. Tears gathered at the corners of her eyes. She reluctantly stated that perhaps Shen Yue had not meant to steal it. Maybe she only wanted something valuable because she had grown up in poverty. Her words sounded like defense. But every sentence pushed suspicion deeper into everyone's mind. Shen Yue turned toward Su Yuru in shock. She could hardly believe what she was hearing. Su Yuru was not helping her. She was burying her alive. Lady Shen's expression darkened. She declared that poverty was not an excuse for theft. Her voice was colder than ice. Lord Shen looked deeply disappointed. He stated that even if Shen Yue lacked refinement, he had never expected her to lack character as well. Those words pierced her heart. Shen Yue desperately denied everything. She explained again and again that she was innocent. But every explanation sounded weak against the evidence. The hairpin had been found in her room. That fact alone crushed her defense. Then Shen Jun stepped forward. His gaze toward Shen Yue was filled with disgust. He coldly stated that from the moment she entered this house, trouble had followed. He said that Yuru had always brought peace, while Shen Yue only brought chaos. Those words shattered something inside her. Shen Yue slowly clenched her fists. Her nails dug into her palms. Pain spread through her skin. But it was nothing compared to the pain in her chest. No one trusted her. She was alone. Completely alone. Then she noticed something. Su Yuru briefly lifted her head. For only a second, their eyes met. And in that second, Shen Yue saw it clearly. A smile. Small. Faint. But unmistakable. It disappeared almost instantly. Yet Shen Yue had seen it. A chill ran through her body. Her breathing became uneven. For the first time, doubt emerged in her heart. Was the gentle and harmless Su Yuru truly as innocent as she appeared? That night, Shen Yue sat alone in her room. The accusation still echoed in her ears. She hugged her knees tightly. Tears silently rolled down her cheeks. She kept asking herself what she had done wrong. She had only wanted a family. She had only wanted to be loved. But the harder she tried, the more painful everything became. Outside her room, footsteps quietly faded into the darkness. Su Yuru walked away with calm steps. There was no sadness on her face now, only satisfaction. The first trap had succeeded. And this was only the beginning. As time passed, nothing changed inside the Shen residence. Shen Yue remained the unwanted daughter. Meanwhile, Su Yuru's position became stronger than ever. She was still the beloved daughter of the family, the gentle sister, the pride of the Shen household. Shen Yue gradually noticed a terrifying pattern. Every problem in the mansion somehow led back to her. Every accusation always benefited Su Yuru. And every single time, her family chose Yuru without hesitation. Even so, Shen Yue kept enduring. She still hoped that one day the truth would come out. But fate crushed that hope completely. One evening, while passing by an abandoned pavilion, Shen Yue suddenly heard familiar voices from inside. She stopped when she heard Su Yuru's name. As she carefully looked through the half-open window, her entire body froze. Su Yuru was standing intimately close to Chun Rui. Their hands were tightly intertwined. The scene instantly shattered Shen Yu's heart. Chun Rui was her fiancé. Yet the tenderness in his eyes had never once been directed at her. Shen Yue silently listened as the two continued talking. What she heard next destroyed her completely. Chun Rui revealed that everything was almost ready. Soon, the Shen family's wealth and power would fall into their hands. Su Yuru calmly stated that Shen Yue was still useful. As long as Shen Yue remained desperate for family love, manipulating her would be easy. In that moment, Shen Yue finally understood. This had never been simple favoritism. It was a trap. A carefully planned trap. But before she could escape, someone discovered her presence. The next morning, chaos erupted throughout the Shen residence. Su Yuru was found unconscious beside a poisoned cup of tea. The servants immediately accused Shen Yue. Everything pointed toward her. Shen Yue desperately exposed Su Yuru and Chun Rui's secret relationship. But no one believed her. Lady Shen accused her of lying out of jealousy. Lord Shen declared that her heart had become rotten. Shen Jun called her shameless. Even Chun Rui coldly denied everything. At that moment, Shen Yue realized the truth no longer mattered. No one wanted to hear it. Lord Shen ordered her imprisonment. She was locked inside a freezing storage house behind the estate. Days passed without food or warmth. Her body grew weaker. Her breathing became shallow. On the third night, the door finally opened. Su Yuru stepped inside. She looked perfectly healthy. There was no sign of poisoning. Only a victorious smile on her face. With calm cruelty, Su Yuru admitted everything. Every accusation had been planned by her. The stolen hairpin, the poison. Every misunderstanding. Everything had been carefully orchestrated. She also revealed that Chun Rui had always belonged to her. Their relationship existed long before Shen Yue returned. The engagement with Shen Yue had only been part of their plan to seize the Shen family inheritance. Shen Yue felt her world collapse. Her family had abandoned her. Her fiancé had betrayed her. Her entire life had been a lie. As her strength faded, hatred burned inside her chest. In her final moments, she swore to the heavens. If she were given another chance, she would never trust them again. She would make every single one of them pay. Soon, darkness consumed her. But in the next second, Shen Yue suddenly opened her eyes. Her breathing turned sharp. Then her pupils trembled. This room, this bed. She knew this place. It was the first night she returned to the Shen family. She had come back. Back before the betrayal. Back before her death. This time, everything would change. Shen Yue sat motionless on the bed as her heartbeat gradually slowed. The candlelight flickered softly beside her. But the storm inside her chest refused to calm. She could still remember the freezing darkness of that storage house. She could still feel the unbearable pain of betrayal. Her family's cold eyes, Chun Rui's merciless denial. Su Yuru's victorious smile. Every memory remained painfully clear. This was not a dream. She had truly returned. She had returned to the beginning of everything. Shen Yue slowly clenched her fists. This time, she would not repeat the same mistakes. In her previous life, she had begged endlessly for love. She endured humiliation. She tolerated injustice. She sacrificed everything just to be accepted by her family. But what did she receive in return? Suspicion, hatred, abandonment, and death. A bitter smile appeared on her lips. She finally understood the cruel truth. Some people would never love her, no matter how hard she tried. And the more desperately she chased their affection, the easier she became to manipulate. This time, things would be different. She would no longer beg for warmth from people who had already chosen someone else. She would no longer cry to prove her innocence. And she would never again become Su Yuru's stepping stone. A cold determination slowly filled her eyes. From this moment onward, her only goal was revenge. The next morning, the Shen residence became lively as servants moved in and out of the courtyard. Everything looked exactly as she remembered. Soon, the familiar footsteps approached. Lady Shen entered her room with Su Yuru following closely behind. Just like in her previous life, Lady Shen examined Shen Yue from head to toe with cold eyes. She stated that Shen Yue needed to quickly learn proper etiquette to avoid embarrassing the Shen family. The same words, the exact same words. In her previous life, those words had pierced Shen Yue's heart. She had felt ashamed and desperate to prove herself. But now, nothing moved inside her. Her expression remained calm. Lady Shen frowned slightly. She seemed surprised by Shen Yue's unusual composure. Beside her, Su Yuru gently smiled and offered to help Shen Yue adapt to the household. Her voice sounded caring and sincere. The perfect loving sister. In the past, Shen Yue had felt grateful. Now she only felt disgust. She could already see the hypocrisy hidden behind that gentle face. Su Yuru noticed something strange. Shen Yue's eyes had changed. There was no insecurity, no eagerness to please. Only a calm coldness that made Yuru uncomfortable. For the first time, Su Yuru felt uncertain. Something was wrong. Very wrong. At breakfast, the familiar scene repeated itself. Everyone focused on Su Yuru. Lady Shen praised her elegance. Lord Shen praised her intelligence. Shen Jun praised her kindness. Not a single person cared about Shen Yue. But unlike before, Shen Yue no longer felt pain. Instead, she quietly observed every expression around the table, every face, every hidden bias, every weakness. If these people wanted to treat her like an outsider, then she would stop treating them as family. Shen Yue lowered her gaze and made a silent vow. She would not waste tears on people unworthy of them. And this time, the one who would fall into despair would not be her. The following days unfolded exactly as Shen Yue remembered. Every event moved along the same path as her previous life. Every smile from Su Yuru concealed hidden schemes. Every act of kindness carried poison beneath the surface. But this time, Shen Yue was no longer the naive girl who knew nothing. She remembered every trap. And she knew the next one was coming. One afternoon, the Shen residence suddenly became restless. A familiar commotion spread through the courtyard. Shen Yue immediately understood. It had begun. The missing hairpin incident. Just like in her previous life, Lady Shen's treasured jade hairpin had disappeared. The servants searched everywhere in panic. The entire residence was thrown into chaos. Shen Yue calmly watched the scene unfold. She remembered everything. Soon, a maid would rush into her room. The hairpin would be discovered among her belongings. Then Su Yuru would shed fake tears. And once again, everyone would condemn Shen Yue. In her previous life, that trap had succeeded perfectly. But not this time. Before the maid could enter her room, Shen Yue quietly left the courtyard. She moved toward a side corridor where few servants passed. There, she finally saw the person she had been waiting for. One of Su Yuru's trusted maids. The girl was nervously clutching something inside her sleeve. Shen Yue's eyes sharpened. Without hesitation, she stepped forward and stopped the maid. The maid froze. Panic flashed across her face. Shen Yue calmly demanded to know what the servant was hiding. The maid immediately denied everything. But Shen Yue remained expressionless. She suddenly grabbed the maid's wrist. The maid gasped. A jade hairpin slipped from the servant's sleeve and fell onto the stone floor. The sharp sound echoed through the corridor. The maid's face turned deathly pale. At that exact moment, footsteps approached. Lady Shen, Lord Shen, Shen Jun, and Su Yuru. They had all arrived. Everyone stared at the hairpin lying on the ground. Silence filled the air. Shen Yue slowly bent down and picked it up. The jade reflected cold light in her hand. Then she raised her gaze toward the stunned maid. She calmly stated that it seemed the missing heirloom had been found. Lady Shen's expression darkened. She demanded an explanation. The maid trembled violently. Cold sweat covered her forehead. She could not even speak properly. Shen Yue then shifted her gaze toward Su Yuru. For the first time, their eyes met without pretense. Su Yuru's gentle smile nearly cracked. A trace of panic appeared in her eyes. She had not expected this. Not at all. Shen Yue quietly observed every reaction. The fear in the maid's face, the panic in Yuru's eyes, the confusion on her family's faces. A cold satisfaction rose inside her chest. This was only the beginning. For once the trap had failed. And the hunter had become the hunted. Su Yuru quickly stepped forward and tried to defend her maid. She suggested that perhaps there had been a misunderstanding. Her voice remained soft and gentle. But Shen Yue could already hear the instability hidden underneath. Shen Yue said nothing more. She simply watched. Because sometimes silence created more suspicion than accusations, Lady Shen's brows tightened. She looked at the maid, then at Su Yuru. For the first time, doubt entered her gaze. It lasted only a moment, but Shen Yue noticed it. And so did Su Yuru. That tiny moment of doubt was enough. A small crack had finally appeared. Shen Yue lowered her eyes, hiding the icy determination within them. In her previous life, she had been the prey, but now, the game had changed. She would be the one setting the traps. A few days after the hairpin incident, the Shen family visited the mountain temple to pray for blessings. After offering incense in the main hall, Lady Shen stated that she wished to meet the head monk privately. Soon she left with several servants, leaving Shen Yue and Su Yuru behind. The two waited in the temple garden. Su Yuru sat gracefully near the pavilion, looking as gentle and harmless as ever. No one would suspect the malice hidden behind that beautiful face. Not long after, a maid quietly approached Shen Yue. Lowering her head, the maid informed her that Lady Shen wanted to see her behind the temple. The moment Shen Yue heard those words, her eyes turned cold. A memory from her previous life surfaced instantly. Back then, after following the maid to the back of the temple, she had encountered a strange man blocking her path. The man acted like a drunk wanderer, but his intentions were clearly malicious. Just as Shen Yue was overwhelmed with fear, Chen Rui had appeared and driven the man away. At that time, Shen Yue had been deeply moved. She believed Chen Rui had saved her. That incident had made her trust him even more. But before her death, Su Yuru revealed the truth. The so-called wild man had been their pawn. And Chen Rui's heroic rescue had been nothing more than a carefully planned act. Everything had been designed to make Shen Yue depend on him. Even that moment of salvation had been fake. Returning to the present, Shen Yue felt only disgust. As expected, this was another trap. But she still chose to follow. Soon, the maid led her to the back of the temple. Then, just like before, the maid suddenly ran away. Shen Yue remained calm. In her previous life, she had taken the narrow stone path ahead. That was where the trap awaited. This time, she turned and chose a different route. A route she had never taken before. The deeper she walked, the quieter the surroundings became. Then a metallic sound cut through the silence. Clang. Another followed. The unmistakable sound of swords colliding echoed through the forest. Shen Yue immediately hid behind a tree. The sight before her made her breathing stop. Several masked assassins surrounded a tall man dressed in black and dark red robes. His sword moved with terrifying speed. Cold, precise, merciless. Even while outnumbered, he remained overwhelmingly powerful. Then she saw danger approaching. One assassin silently moved behind him, blade raised. A fatal strike from his blind spot. Without hesitation, Shen Yue grabbed a stone and threw it. The stone struck the assassin's wrist. His attack shifted. That brief moment was enough. The man turned. His sword flashed like lightning. A second later, the assassin collapsed. The remaining assassins fled. Silence returned. The man slowly turned toward Shen Yue. The moment their eyes met, Shen Yue froze. She recognized him instantly. Prince Mo Yuan, the empire's most feared prince. His gaze was sharp and oppressive. Even wounded, his presence felt overwhelming. Then his body suddenly swayed. Blood loss had caught up to him. Shen Yue rushed forward and supported him before he fell. Warm blood stained her sleeve. As she pressed her torn sleeve against his wound, Mo Yuan silently watched her. Most noble ladies would have panicked. But this girl remained calm. Fearless. For the first time in years. Something stirred in Mo Yuan's cold eyes. Interest. Neither of them knew it yet, but from this moment on, both of their fates had changed forever. That night, after returning from the temple, Shen Yue sat quietly in her room. The moonlight spilled across the floor, but her mind remained restless. Seeing Prince Mo Yuan had stirred many memories she had buried deep inside. Soon another face surfaced in her mind, Chun Rui. A cold bitterness rose in Shen Yue's chest. Her thoughts drifted back to her previous life. Back then, after being lured behind the temple, she had walked straight into the trap prepared for her. A rough-looking man suddenly blocked her path. Fear instantly gripped her heart. Just as panic consumed her, another figure appeared. Chun Rui. He had stepped forward like a hero. With swift movements, he drove the man away and protected her. At that time, Shen Yue had been deeply shaken. She thought fate had sent someone to save her. That was also the day she learned something shocking. Chun Rui was her fiancé. A marriage arrangement between the Chun family and the Shen family had been made when she was still a baby. Because Shen Yue had gone missing for years, the engagement had become uncertain. During that time, many believed Su Yuru would eventually take her place. But then, Su Yuru did something that moved Shen Yue deeply. With a gentle smile, she stated that the engagement rightfully belonged to Shen Yue. She appeared generous, selfless, kind. At that time, Shen Yue had been overwhelmed with gratitude. She believed Su Yuru truly cared for her. She believed Chun Rui genuinely wanted to protect her. But before her death, Su Yuru revealed the truth with cruel delight. Everything had been fake. The thug had been arranged by them. Chun Rui's rescue had been scripted from the start. Even Su Yuru's so-called generosity had been part of the plan. Returning to the present, her eyes turned ice cold. So that had been their plan all along. To make her fall in love, to bind her with affection, to turn her into a puppet. This time she knew every move they would make. And if Chun Rui intended to approach her again, then she would let him come. Because this time, the hunter might discover that the prey had already grown fangs. A few days later, the Chun family visited the Shen residence. The atmosphere inside the main hall was warm and harmonious. The elders exchanged polite greetings while discussing matters between the two families. On the surface, everything appeared peaceful. But Shen Yue knew better. She understood exactly why they had come. This was not a simple social visit. This was Chun Rui's next move. Soon, Shen Yue and Chun Rui were left walking alone in the garden. The afternoon breeze carried the faint scent of flowers. Everything looked calm, elegant, almost romantic. Chun Rui walked beside Shen Yue with practiced grace. His expression was gentle, his voice warm and pleasant. Every word he spoke was carefully measured. He subtly expressed concern for Shen Yue's adjustment to life in the Shen residence. In her previous life, this version of Chun Rui had completely deceived her. Back then, she had mistaken his gentleness for sincerity. She had believed he alone understood her loneliness. Now all Shen Yue felt was disgust. Every smile looked fake. Every word felt calculated. She could almost see the hidden intentions behind his calm gaze. Still, Shen Yue revealed nothing. She remained polite, composed, distant. Her responses were brief and formal, never rude, but never warm. Not once did she show the admiration Chen Rui expected. The more he observed her, the more unsettled he became. Something was wrong, very wrong. This was not the Shen Yue he had expected. A girl starved for affection should have reacted to kindness. For the first time, Chen Rui felt his confidence waver. A strange frustration rose in his chest. The prey he had expected to easily control had become impossible to read. Night fell over the Shen residence. Inside an abandoned pavilion near the back garden, two figures stood close beneath the cold moonlight, speaking in low voices. Chen Rui's usual gentle smile had disappeared, replaced by a serious and calculating expression. Beside him, Su Yuru remained calm and elegant, but her sharp eyes revealed hidden scheming. Chen Rui's expression darkened as he admitted the obvious. Something about Shen Yue had changed. His direct approach had failed. Completely. Su Yuru's eyes turned cold. She had noticed it too. Shen Yue was no longer behaving like the naive girl they once knew. After a long silence, Su Yuru slowly spoke of finding another way. If kindness could not bind Shen Yue, then they would create circumstances that forced her to rely on Chen Rui. A new trap. A stronger one. Hearing those words, Shen Yu's lips slowly curved into a cold smile. So this was their next move. Good. She would be waiting. Several days after overhearing Chen Rui and Su Yuru's conversation in the abandoned pavilion, Shen Yue carried on as usual. She neither exposed them nor confronted them. Soon the annual Lantern Festival arrived. The capital was filled with dazzling lanterns. Crowds packed the streets. Laughter echoed everywhere. That afternoon, Su Yuru invited Shen Yue to the Lantern Festival, suggesting they spend the evening enjoying the celebration together. Just as they reached the busiest street, a familiar figure appeared before them, Chen Rui. He smiled warmly as though their meeting had been pure chance. Chen Rui greeted the two sisters politely. Before long, Su Yuru suddenly looked toward a nearby tea house. She smiled apologetically. She explained that a close friend had unexpectedly invited her for a brief gathering. She promised to return shortly. Without waiting for Shen Yue to respond, she quickly left. Soon, only Shen Yue and Chen Rui remained. Chen Rui immediately offered to escort her home. Shen Yue looked at him quietly. Then she agreed, not because she trusted him, but because she wanted to see what game they were planning this time. The journey home began peacefully. Chen Rui deliberately maintained a respectful distance. His gentle words and considerate manner were flawless. Then, as they entered a quieter street, several masked men suddenly rushed out. Weapons flashed beneath the lantern light. The leader demanded all their valuables. Chen Rui stepped in front of Shen Yue without hesitation. He drew his sword as though prepared to risk his life protecting her. For a brief moment, it seemed he might actually hold them back. A bandit seized him from behind. His sword fell to the ground. He was forced onto his knees, with no way to continue fighting. Chen Rui desperately urged Shen Yue to run. Without looking back, Shen Yue rushed into the bamboo forest. Two bandits immediately chased after her. The dense forest quickly swallowed her figure. Branches tore at her sleeves as she ran through the darkness. Then suddenly, her foot caught on an exposed tree root. She stumbled. A sharp pain shot through her ankle. She collapsed onto the ground. Unable to stand, one of the bandits slowly raised his blade. Just as the sword was about to fall, a cold flash streaked through the night. The bandit collapsed before her. Prince Mo Yuan had arrived. For a brief moment, Prince Mo Yuan and Shen Yue simply looked at one another. The moonlight illuminated their eyes, as though the entire bamboo forest had fallen silent around them. Then, Prince Mo Yuan immediately walked to her side. Ignoring everything around him, he knelt before her and carefully examined her injured ankle. He gently eased the swelling. After making sure her injury was not serious, he quietly reminded Shen Yue never to take such a dangerous risk again. No enemy, no scheme was worth risking her life. Prince Mo Yuan silently made her a promise. From that moment forward, he would stand between her and every danger. He would never allow anyone to harm her again. Shen Yue quietly looked at the man before her. For the first time in 2 lifetimes, someone had promised to protect her. Not because of her family, not because of her status, but simply because she was Shen Yue. An unfamiliar warmth quietly spread through her heart. Her heartbeat gently quickened. And beneath the silent bamboo forest, she felt safer than she ever had before. Meanwhile, Chen Rui had already returned to the Shen residence. His clothes were stained with dirt. His expression was filled with guilt. He repeatedly apologized for failing to protect Shen Yue. He blamed himself for being too weak to stop the bandits. Shen Jun immediately stepped forward. Instead of blaming Chen Rui, he comforted him. In Shen Chan's eyes, Chen Rui had already done everything he could. Facing so many bandits, no one could have protected Shen Yue. Lady Shen slowly nodded. She sighed in disappointment. Then once again compared Shen Yue to Su Yuru. She remarked that since Shen Yue had returned to the Shen family, trouble had followed one after another, unlike Su Yuru, who had always brought honor and harmony to the household. Lord Shen's face darkened. He slammed his hand heavily against the table, declaring that the moment Shen Yue returned, she would be punished for once again bringing disgrace upon the Shen family. At that very moment, a servant hurried into the hall. His face was filled with shock. He announced the arrival of Prince Mo Yuan. The entire Shen family immediately stood. Lord Shen, Lady Shen, and Shen Jun respectfully greeted the prince with cupped fist salutes. None of them understood why His Highness had suddenly come to the Shen residence. A moment later, Prince Mo Yuan calmly stepped into the hall, behind him. A maid carefully supported Shen Yue as she slowly walked inside. Her ankle was tightly wrapped. The moment Chen Rui saw her, his pupils contracted. Disbelief flashed across his face. Beside him, Su Yuru's gentle smile instantly froze. The color slowly drained from her face. Both of them had believed Shen Yue would never return alive, yet she now stood before them, protected by the crown prince himself. Prince Mo Yuan's calm gaze swept across everyone in the hall. His eyes finally rested on Lord Shen. He found it rather interesting that the Shen family seemed far more concerned about their reputation than the safety of their own daughter. His sharp gaze slowly shifted toward Chen Rui. Then to Su Yuru. Prince Mo Yuan calmly revealed that several bandits had been captured alive. They would soon be interrogated. Chen Rui's breathing suddenly became uneven. Su Yuru quietly clenched her fists beneath her sleeves. For the first time, the two of them truly understood. Their carefully planned conspiracy was beginning to unravel. The morning after the bamboo forest incident, the Shen residence gradually returned to its usual routine. Yet throughout the entire day, Su Yuru appeared strangely distracted. Her smile was no longer as warm as before. Even during meals, she seemed lost in thought. Shen Jun noticed everything. Believing she was still shaken by the previous night's events, he became even more convinced that Shen Yue had only brought more trouble to the Shen family. That afternoon, one of the maids casually mentioned a newly opened pastry shop in the capital. She excitedly recalled that Shen Yue had once given her a box of pastries from that very shop. The pastries had been so delicious that they quickly became the favorite treat among the young ladies of the capital. Wanting to cheer Su Yuru up, Shen Jun personally went to the shop. He bought a beautifully wrapped box of pastries, then returned to the Shen residence before evening, carrying the gift himself. As the sun slowly began to set, Shen Jun walked toward Su Yuru's courtyard. The abandoned pavilion stood quietly along the way. Just as he was about to pass, a pair of moving shadows caught his attention. Curiosity made him stop. He quietly approached the half-open window, then carefully looked inside. The moment he saw the two figures, his entire body froze. Inside the pavilion, Su Yuru stood closely beside Chen Rui. Their expressions were cold. completely different from the gentle smiles they always wore before others. Shen Yue instinctively held his breath. He quietly listened. The two calmly discussed the failed assassination in the bamboo forest, the captured bandits, and the need to quickly erase every remaining loose end. Every single word struck Shen Yue like thunder. His mind went completely blank. He could no longer hear what they said afterward. Unable to stay any longer, he slowly stepped away. His footsteps felt unusually heavy. As he walked back through the corridor, he suddenly stopped. Not far away, Shen Yue quietly stood beneath the fading evening light. She simply looked at him. A faint, unreadable smile slowly appeared on her lips, before calmly turning around and walking away. Not a single word was spoken. Yet Shen Yue felt an icy chill spread throughout his body. For the first time, he had the unsettling feeling that Shen Yue had known everything long before he did, and that he had been living inside a lie all along. That night, Shen Yue remained awake until dawn. The conversation inside the abandoned pavilion echoed endlessly inside his mind. For the first time in his life, the image of the gentle and innocent Su Yuru began to crack. The following morning, the Shen residence appeared as peaceful as ever. Yet Shen Chun's heart remained in turmoil. The conversation he had overheard inside the abandoned pavilion refused to leave his mind. Neither could the faint smile Shen Yue had given him before walking away. Unable to suppress the questions inside his heart, Shen Yue went looking for Shen Yue. He eventually found her alone in the rear garden, quietly feeding the fish by the pond. Her expression remained calm, as though she had expected him to come. Shen Yue immediately confronted her. He demanded to know whether everything that had happened the previous evening had been part of her plan, whether she had deliberately led him to the abandoned pavilion, just so he would witness the truth with his own eyes. Shen Yue neither admitted nor denied it. She simply looked at him with an unreadable expression, then calmly asked him a single question. After seeing everything with his own eyes, did he truly believe what he had witnessed? Or was he still searching for excuses to protect Su Yuru? Those words struck Shen Yue like a blade. His breathing grew heavier, but instead of answering, his anger only deepened. He accused Shen Yue of changing. The sister standing before him was no longer the timid girl who desperately longed for her family's affection. She had become cold, calculating. In his eyes, she had deliberately burdened him with a truth he had never wanted to know. Shen Yue remained silent. Not once did she defend herself. Not once did she ask him to believe her. Her silence only made Shen Yue feel even more unsettled. Shen Chun's expression gradually darkened. His hands slowly clenched into fists. Without saying another word, he turned around and walked away. Watching his departing figure, Shen Yue's expression remained unchanged. Some truths could never be forced upon someone. They could only be accepted when that person was finally willing to face them. The following morning, the Shen residence was suddenly surrounded by imperial guards. Their arrival threw the entire household into chaos. Leading them was the captain of the imperial guards, holding an official arrest warrant bearing Prince Mo Yuan's seal. Every servant immediately knelt in fear. Lord Shen and Lady Shen hurried into the courtyard. Neither of them understood what was happening. Without hesitation, the captain announced that Su Yuru was under arrest. She was suspected of conspiring in the attempted murder of Shen Yue. The Shen family stood frozen in disbelief. Lady Shen immediately stepped forward, demanding an explanation. The captain calmly replied that all questions would be answered before the imperial court. This was a direct order from Prince Mo Yuan. No one was permitted to interfere. Su Yuru's face instantly turned pale. She repeatedly denied every accusation, claiming she had been framed. Tears streamed down her face as she pleaded with the Shen family to trust her. Lady Shen's heart wavered. Lord Shen's expression darkened. Even then, neither of them believed Su Yuru could possibly commit such a crime. Escorted by the imperial guards, Su Yuru was taken directly to the imperial court. The Shen family followed closely behind. When they entered the courtroom, Su Yuru's footsteps suddenly came to a halt. At the center of the hall, Chen Rui was already kneeling in chains. His face was pale. The moment he saw Su Yuru, panic flashed across his eyes. Fear had already broken him. Without waiting for the questioning to begin, Chen Rui desperately shifted all responsibility onto Su Yuru. He claimed that every plan had originated from her, that her greed for the Shen family's wealth had driven everything. He insisted that he had merely followed her instructions. Su Yuru stared at him in complete disbelief. She had never imagined that the man who once promised to spend his life with her would abandon her so quickly. Furious, she immediately denied every accusation. She admitted that she had known Chen Rui, but firmly rejected any involvement with the bandits. She accused Chen Rui of fabricating lies to save himself. The two began blaming one another, each trying desperately to escape responsibility. Lady Shen's face turned pale. Lord Shen's brows were tightly furrowed. Even Shen Jun could no longer understand which of the two was telling the truth. Throughout the entire exchange, Shen Yue remained silent. Her calm eyes never left Su Yuru. At that moment, Prince Mo Yuan slowly rose from his seat. His gaze swept across the courtroom, before calmly announcing that there was one final witness who would reveal the truth behind everything. The heavy courtroom doors slowly began to open. Everyone instinctively turned toward the entrance. Even Su Yuru's confident expression began to crack. Moments later, the courtroom doors slowly opened. Imperial guards escorted a middle-aged woman inside. The moment Lady Shen saw her face, her pupils contracted. Lord Shen's expression instantly changed. They both recognized the woman. She had once been a servant of the Shen residence, years ago. She had been expelled for repeatedly stealing from the household. She had even attempted to climb into Lord Shen's bed. Before her scheme could succeed, she was driven out of the estate. She admitted that she had already been pregnant at that time, but the child's father had never been identified. Desperate to secure a wealthy future, she had planned to falsely claim that the unborn child belonged to Lord Shen. Su Yuru's face instantly turned pale. She immediately denied knowing the woman, claiming that both of her birth parents had died many years ago. Prince Mo Yuan calmly signaled his subordinate. The subordinate stepped forward carrying several old letters. They had all been exchanged between Su Yuru and the woman standing before the court. Every letter proved they had remained in contact for years. Su Yuru's breathing became uneven. The final trace of hope disappeared from Su Yuru's eyes. Lady Shen staggered backward. Lord Shen stood frozen in disbelief. Neither of them could accept that the daughter they had loved and trusted for so many years had deceived them from the very beginning. No one expected what happened next. Su Yuru suddenly began laughing. At first, the laughter was soft, but it quickly grew louder until it echoed throughout the entire courtroom. The graceful and gentle young lady everyone had admired had completely disappeared. She slowly raised her head. Her eyes were filled with madness. Since everything had already been exposed, she no longer saw any reason to keep pretending. She admitted that she had hated the Shen family from the very beginning. In her eyes, everything they possessed should have belonged to her and her mother. While her mother had struggled through poverty, humiliation, and endless suffering, the Shen family had lived in wealth and comfort. She believed fate had been unfair. If the Shen family had taken her mother in, none of those tragedies would have happened. Therefore, she believed the Shen family owed them everything, their wealth, their status, even their lives. She admitted that Shen Yue had always been the greatest obstacle. As long as Shen Yue remained alive, she could never truly replace the Shen family's real daughter. That was why Shen Yue had to die. The entire courtroom fell silent. Lady Shen covered her mouth in disbelief. Lord Shen stood frozen, his face completely drained of color. Then Su Yuru slowly turned toward Shen Jun. A twisted smile spread across her face. She calmly revealed that after Shen Yu's death, the next person she intended to eliminate had always been Shen Yue. Shen Chan's pupils violently contracted. His breathing stopped. He finally understood that the sister he had protected all those years had never truly regarded him as family. Silence filled the courtroom. No one expected the gentle and innocent Su Yuru to have hidden such terrifying hatred all along. Lady Shen staggered backward. Unable to accept everything she had just heard, Lord Shen lowered his head. His face was filled with regret. Shen Yue remained frozen. The words Su Yuru had spoken continued echoing inside his mind. Only then did he realize that the sister he had protected for so many years had never truly cared about him. As the imperial guards escorted Chun Rui and Su Yuru away, Shen Yue quietly turned around. She had already lost all interest in watching what happened next. Some endings were no longer worth witnessing. Outside the imperial court, Prince Mo Yuan was already waiting beside his carriage. The moment he saw Shen Yue, his gaze quietly settled upon her, as though silently making sure she was unharmed. The attendants respectfully opened the carriage door. Just as Shen Yue was about to step inside, a familiar voice suddenly called out behind her. She slowly turned around. The entire Shen family had followed her outside. Lady Shen's eyes were red from crying. Lord Shen's shoulders seemed to have aged overnight. Even Shen Yue could no longer meet her eyes. For the first time, they sincerely apologized. They admitted that they had failed her. They begged Shen Yue to return home with them, promising they would spend the rest of their lives making up for everything they had done. Shen Yue quietly looked at each of them. Her expression remained calm. She remembered the lonely girl from her previous life. The girl who had desperately longed for nothing more than her family's love. That girl had waited until her final breath. Yet no one had ever reached out to her. After a long silence, Shen Yue finally spoke. Some apologies arrived too late, not because they could never be forgiven, but because the person who had waited for them was already gone. She no longer hated them, yet she no longer needed their love. Nor did she wish to return to a place that had never truly been her home. Without another word, Shen Yue stepped into the carriage. Prince Mo Yuan quietly followed after her. The carriage slowly began moving forward. No one inside looked back. The Shen family remained standing before the gates of the imperial court, watching the carriage disappear into the distance. Only after it vanished completely did they finally understand that they had not only lost their daughter, they had lost the only chance to ever earn her forgiveness.